Hello. Today what I'm going to do is go over gear that I have recommended people to carry for a day hike or a survival kit. This gear is great for just enjoying your time out there, having ways to make fire, so on and so forth, but it can truly help if you're ever lost or stranded or in that survival situation. First off, I like to carry a bag that is either waterproof or has a cover that I can keep my gear dry. Very important for me. But I also have my belt on, that I have my belt knife on and multiple tools, which I'm going to share with you first. First off, on this side, I have my survival bush point. My design, to me, is the ultimate survival knife. It has done so much for me, from building shelters to carving a toothpick. This is one of those ones you call an all-around one tool option. I'm loving it. So, always carrying that. Then I have this little pouch here. This little pouch has a sharpener. It has a couple tools to remove the scales for the survival bush point. Some cordage for lashing. And as well, a ferro rod for fire starting. On this side, I have bear spray, which I started carrying when I started teaching students, just for safety reasons. And behind that, I have my Baco Laplander. This saw has been very handy, and anything wrist size and down, and also camp projects, this has come in very, very handy. So I like having a saw and a good knife for my outdoor tasks. In this little pouch here, this is a water bottle pouch, but it's rather small. And I switch up my backpacks many different times. But this has been a great pack because it is waterproof. Now this is waterproof as well, so I'm able to put my knee down with this. It also is orange for signaling. Now, on here, I'm going to zoom in and just kind of show you what I have dangling here. This is up to you, but this is just what I have on here. So this here is just a random assortment of pieces of gear that I carabine to the outside of my pack. Most important here are these 3 stakes. They're used for deploying a shelter fast, as well as these already made loops are for shelter deployment and fast. But these here also dingle and dangle as I walk through the woods, and it's an alert to an animal that somebody's coming, and usually they'll move the other way. So these loops and the stakes are for shelter deployment and also an animal alert. Now I have a whistle and a compass here, plus this has a thermometer and a magnifier, but mostly it's for the compass. I can get a general direction and a whistle. Got some coyote spray in case I need it, and I just threw this on here. It's a bearing block for a bow drill, and it's also a flint and steel striker. Just something I added that makes noise as I walk and has many functions. So that is the outside of the pack. Now, before I open this up, I want to mention that people have asked me over the years, could I list what I carry in a survival pack or a day pack? They've also asked me if I had an Amazon store because they wanted to help support me. Now, I have students asking, what gear do you recommend and where can I get it? So what I have done is I've signed up with the Amazon affiliate program. And I'll leave a link down below where you can check out. Most of this gear is on that list. And it's my rules and my thoughts on how to put together a good day hike kit and survival kit. And it lists links where you can check them out on the Canadian Amazon site. So that helps support me as well. And I hope it just makes it easier for people to find out what I recommend, and also just a click and you're able to go and get something if you need it, kind of deal. So it's one of those things that it should have been done a long time ago and people have asked, so I have done it for you all. So this backpack here is the one that I take out to teach my students, to show them what I recommend for a day hike or survival kit, like I mentioned before. So this is what I show my students to give them some ideas and what can really help in those situations. First off is a good first aid kit. Now I am first aid certified, so I bring this out. It's rather large, and this is what I bring out just in case a student has first aid needs. So I have that in there. Right here, always carry rain gear. It could be, sunny, very sunny and hot. Next thing you know, you get a shower, you're soaked to the bone, you get lost, and you have to spend the night out there, and it drops down to 6 degrees, and you're totally soaked. Bad situation. Rain gear come in very handy. Here's another, this is just a dry mat, but it's orange. I can use it for signaling. Just going to throw some stuff on there just so it doesn't get wet, because the ground is wet. This here is the Reflex survival shelter. It's my design. I designed this to be the ultimate survival shelter. Gives you lots of cover, has reflective interior, so you can use it in cold weather in conjunction with a fire. This here is a great option for the serious outdoors person. In here is a 6x8 poly tarp that I have slept in many times, and they're cheaper to buy. This is an enhanced version of this. Both are set up in the lean-to fashion. So these here are my main cover items, the Reflex shelter and a 6x8 tarp. Now, in my courses, I teach people how to set the shelter up using this tarp. Next is a stainless steel 1-liter water bottle. You take the top off, there's no plastic, it's just all solid steel. I can boil water in this, I can have tea in this, I can have coffee in this, I can make soup in this. This is my cook pot, but I can boil water, let it cool, put my cap back on, and go as well. So, if you're going to carry a water bottle, why not carry something with multi-function? Now, for cutting firewood, my Baco, it will get basically wrist-size wood and such for ridgepole and so on. But if I'm going to need firewood, I'm dropping trees that are 6 inches, 8 inches and such. That's where the silky saw comes into play. Now, I put it in this little bag right here, and I slip it right inside my pack. Very compact, very lightweight, and I have used this for years. Oops. And you can drop it, and it's still good to go. Next is this bag of goodies. We'll go over that in a little bit. Got a pair of leather gloves for working around the fire. and also for gathering branches and such, because you do not want to get injured, especially in a survival situation. Got an orange 3mm trash bag as well. Now trash bags, I've used them for making a mattress, just to fill in 2 trash bags with leaves. I have taken and cut them down the sides, laid them over top of damp brush. That way there, it adds a vapor barrier. I have gathered water in them, come up and poured on them a fire to put it out. Just many, many uses. I also carry in my survival kits, always do now, because I have a backpack anyhow. If you have the room, this has increased my chances huge. What this is a 5 Celsius sleeping bag, and this is a breathable, reflective bivvy. Add these together, I can get down to about 0 Celsius. So now, I'm no longer needing fire for anything above 0 Celsius. That can be huge when out there. If you noticed, I have my sleeping bag inside a dry sack. Just an added security that it won't get wet. Same thing as my gear here. Even though I have it in a waterproof backpack, I can switch this over to something that is not waterproof and my gear still stays dry. So in here is a lot of my smaller items. I have the Mora Garberg as a backup knife. This is the stainless steel version. I also have the carbon steel. Both are great. This here in this bag is a Sawyer Mini for water purification. If I can get it out here. If you notice, I have it in a baggie. And the reason why is you're not supposed to, well, it damages the water filters if you allow them to freeze. So in the cold weather, I will take a drink and such, shake it out the best I can, put it in that bag so I don't get wet, and I'll put it in an inside pocket. That allows it to stay warm enough that it will not freeze. Why I like the Sawyer Mini, it's good if used properly for 100,000 gallons. You do the math, it'll last you a lifetime at a gallon a day. This here is a syringe to backwash and keep them clear. That's why they last so long. They also come with a straw and a water bottle that you can squeeze. So I can fill this water bottle up, attach the Sawyer Mini to it, and drink. And then I can fill it up, screw it on, carry it that way, or I can take and fill up a water bottle, the one I have there, by squeezing this into it, filling this up, and go. Just many, many uses with the option of having a bag, a straw, and a way to clean it so it lasts a long time. Next in here, I have a spool of mason twine. Now you can use bank line as well. I like mason twine because it's cheaper, and bank line is great if you want black flies are out. The lost train of thought. The bank line is great because it's very sturdy and it lasts a long time. This here will rot a lot quicker and such, but I don't mind cutting this up and just tossing it afterward. Now I could be wearing this. This is a Mosquito Head Net. Now, this time of year, if I had to sleep in the wide open and it's bug season, well, I'd rather have this on. I can tuck in my leather gloves into my sleeves and so on and so forth, tuck everything in, and then tuck this bug net in, and that's going to save me from ticks crawling on my face and such, into my ears, spiders, you know, bugs biting you, and so on and so forth. This can be a really good morale boost first off, because I've seen people go pretty batty because of insects. So having just a cheap bug net can really help, and I sleep a lot better knowing that I don't have to worry about the bugs. In this bag is my fire kit. I have 4 little blocks of fire starting, but I can just cut little pieces off of this, and it increases your chances of fire hugely because it has a long burn time. So if you have just damp materials and such, and you have enough flame coming up, it's going to dry it out and you're going to be able to get your fire going. Also, honing your fire skills is very important. In here, I just have a mirror that I can use for signaling as well. I just keep it in there. But next is 2 disposable lighters and a box of wooden matches. So this here is basically surefire. Now, anybody can use a kit like this, and that's why I share this kit. Now, if I want to get into other methods, then that is intermediate classes. Now, for a basic, I teach with this because it is surefire. Pretty much anybody, no matter your skill level, will get fire with this kit. Next in my goodie bag is a double sole emergency sheet. Now, I have used this in many storms and cold nights underneath this, set up as a shelter, and it's still going strong. That's why I like the Sole brand. Now, I have my cordage and everything right in this, that I can set this up into a shelter with just this little bag. But I have on my site the link where you can get the Sole double heat sheet, and you can use it for just wrapping around. You can use it as a vapor barrier. Just many uses for something so small, compact, and can save your life. Next is a 100% cotton bandana. Now, many uses once again, but I wanted it red or another bright color for signaling. Now, the next item, so I can place this on the ground. The next item is right here, and lastly is 2 headlamps. The headlamps are ones that I've used many times out camping, so I know they work well, but the batteries are not in them. The batteries are separate in this bag, so I know I didn't accidentally turn on my light and kill my batteries, and they're not draining because they're leaving stored in my light. So what's great about this bandana on the ground, if I am putting batteries in and I've got my hands full and such, you get down low over top of your bandana, and that's when you put your batteries in. If you drop a battery, it lands on the bandana, not in the grass, not down between rocks, and so on. It's less likely for you to lose a battery or something important if you work over top of some sort of a cloth, your jacket, anything underneath, just so you don't lose something. It is also recommended that you carry 1 day of extra food that you're not eating. That could be little packages of Lipton cup of soup, energy bars. There's just many items that you could carry for backpacking and such that is going to help with morale and keep your energy up. And also could help with being hangry. If you haven't eaten for a while and you're hungry, and just some people get into a foul mood, So being able to take a break, eat a snack can help with keeping that positive attitude. So I want to thank you for watching. Also remember an extra liter of water that you're not drinking as well. Take care. All the best.